Hi everybody, welcome to my moon phase junk journal journey. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jenny Fee from the Moonlight Crafters, and this month we're talking about March, and we're also talking about Ostara, and also we have Easter coming up as well. It is now March. I've got a selection of goodies here for you, and I'm here to share with you what we were up to this month at our workshops. So you can catch up if you missed out on anything. You need a little bit of reassurance on the chakra key. We're going to go through that. I'm going to quickly make one, hopefully. We'll do our Ostara wish jar and our oracle art with an egg. So it's going to be probably a long one as usual. So hold tight and enjoy. So I've got lots to talk about, as you can imagine. Right, it's been a long month. I've been busy, which has been good, and creating some nice things at our groups. So this month we kind of focused on making our bookmark, which has our chakra mood key tracker inside of it, and also other keys that are handy to use throughout your journaling journey, really. I've got a few keys to show you, the extra ones that I've made. But first of all, we're going to look at March as calendar. So I'm going to, you can sneak peek of that's what we'll be making in a minute. I use my bookmark already. I'm going to make another one in a minute, so I'm going to have 3 in total, which will be nice. So I don't know if you can see that, March. So that's my March spread. I've already set up the columns. Thought I'd be super organised this month and draw my squares. Not perfect, but I will add some stickers to hide a multitude of sins. And I've got I've got the dates up here, and I've already circled our full moon, which was on the 14th of March. So I like to use the symbol of a circle, and I circle that. And then on the 29th, I've got a half circle, almost like a bridge, and that's for the new moon. So that's on the 29th of March. I've also got a few other dates to add in, which I need to add. So the other dates that we've got this month are, I'm kind of wishing that I had highlighted these. So you've got Ostara, which is on the 20th, which is spring equinox. So that's when we're bringing in the spring finally. And we've had some really lovely weather down here in Devon. So I'm going to write spring equinox on there. So that's that added into the diary. Like I say, the full moon was on the 14th, so I would write full moon on the 14th. The new moon is on the 29th. There we go. Also, we have a portal on the free. So there's a portal, and with the portal, I often use the symbol of affinity, which is quite a good symbol. So that is also going to be on one of my keys, which I'll show you later. And then I think that was it, really. Yeah, on that one for the special dates that are coming up. We've also, so we start the month in Pisces, so I would like to write Pisces up there. And that is a water sign. So that's the water element. And it's north. And then, I don't know why I wrote north on that one, but I did. And then, as we approach the 21st, we head into Aries season. So you would write Aries season, which starts on the 21st. There we go. So that's the 21st, and then we're going to write Aries down the bottom. And we're going to write the 21st to remind us when it started. It's the fire element. and it's on till the 19th of April. So I like to write the next date on that, so I know that we're heading when we're heading out of a season. It's nice to know the date for next month, so I can add it into my calendar the next month. So the full moon was a worm moon. So the worm moon, it was also a blood moon as well. And there was also a lunar eclipse. So that was for a deep transformation, embracing new beginnings with clarity and purpose. The eclipse marks the end of the karmic cycles, urging release of unwanted feelings, healing and transformation. So yeah, that was quite a powerful moon. That was the full moon. Like I say, some people call it the blood moon, some people call it the worm moon. I find that quite interesting. The portal, a little bit about that. So the free portal is divinely guided for creativity and alignment with the higher consciousness. So that's also quite lovely. So everything's heading to new beginnings really, and that's what the spring equinox is around as well, isn't it? It's about the new beginnings, the new life coming in, the spring, the flowers are budding, lots of things are happening, things are growing, gardens are looking nicer. I've actually seen quite a few flowers around. I've had a lot of daffodils in my garden that I planted last year. So yeah, so that's all your dates there for March. So I hope you managed to keep up with that one. If you do struggle, give me a shout. I shall write them down for you. So I'm going to put that bookmark back there. No, I'll leave that out for a minute because we'll do that one. So if I move this out of the way, because I'll finish with that for a moment. Put my pen down. So we're going to make this chakra key bookmark, which has a selection of lovely keys, which is the tabs here. And then I've got a couple of extra tabs. So there's 3 extra tabs in total for you guys to use as you wish and make your own keys. And I will show you my other keys that I've made on these 2 tags. And I'll show you how to make one of these. And obviously I'm going to show you how to do this as well. So the plan with the chakra mood key is that I gave everybody a rainbow pencil. It's like a little crayon. So the aim was as March went on that they would look at their chakra mood key and they would look at the colour that they felt, and then they would colour in one of the squares on the March into April, and then continue it throughout your diary as you go on through the month. So no matter what time you start this process, doesn't matter what month you start on, you have that opportunity to make a chakra key and use your little rainbow pencil to keep track of your moods. And also as well, we'll discuss the moods in a minute when I go into more detail, when I talk about the sticky dots that I've got lying here. I don't need them just now. So in the kit we had a blank card which I folded, made this, cut them all myself. I got 2 same size sheets here, so that one for the front and one for the back, like that. Then we've got a slim piece here which is going on the slim bit there, and then we got this square which we're going to use here, and we're going to create a pocket which will hold the other keys in here like so. So hold it like that. So before I start sticking that all together, oh, I'll also show you these as well. So then also in the kit you get the tags which we are going to add our chakra key to. They come in 2 pieces. So you got a blank piece which you're going to stick to the blank piece to the tab, and you get 2 small ones. So you get 3 extra tabs, one that you're going to work with, and then also you've got decorations. You've got a moon cut out and some stars, and I've also printed off some little sticky words that I've written on my little machine that I've got, which is quite cool and handy. And also we're going to decorate it with a charm, some beads. We've got the evil eye there, and while we're doing that, I'll discuss what all those sort of mean. And some I've got a nice key as well, key charm. So because it's a bookmark key, that's what I thought would look nice on that. So there you go. Let's see, I've got a few. So we're going to start off by, I've got this little thing called it's like a corner cutter. So basically you just pop it in there and it just takes off all the corners off the paper. So I think it looks a little bit nicer. It adds a bit of detail as well. It takes away that square edge. I'm also going to do the edges on the black card as well. And even the double piece there. Because if you notice a difference when you click them off. And then, I don't need to do that one. But this one as well. The long piece. The only bit you don't have to do it on is the tabs, because they're already pre-cut tabs for you. There we go. That one I only had to do 2 edges because that one's going to be hidden in there. So all I use for that is a bit of glue. If I can open it, there we go. Don't want to open. Brand new, this one. Right, so just using a bit of prick stick. There we go, prick stick. A little bit of easy glue. You're going to add one of your big pieces. Lots of glue over that. And you're going to add it in here. Leaving a gap top and bottom. Kind of equal as much as you can. And then we're going to add this bit as well. And we'll add that to the front. Like so. Try and keep it in line with each other. And then glue this as well. Don't bore you while I glue. Came up with this design myself. I had Sizzix. I used the Sizzix machine to cut out the moon and the stars. Make cards a lot, so it's easy enough to find out. So this bit, we're not going to glue that on with a prick bit. We're going to glue that on. I just realised I need to cut that corner as well. I'm going to glue it on differently because it's going to become a pocket. You don't want to be putting glue all over it, so we're going to use one of these little double-sided tape rollers. So we're only going to go down sides, and typically this one's decided not to work, and my other ones are upstairs, which is annoying. So if you haven't got one of these, a bit of double-sided tape is fine. Again, that's also upstairs. So yeah, so basically double-sided tape down each end. So pretend I did this, all right? Save me a walk. And then you're going to stick that on the back of here. So then that would be stuck, and then you would create a pocket to slide in these. So like this one, that one, has it got one? Like that one. So you've got the keys at the back. So, and then with one of your rollers as well, if I had one working, you would sort of work out how far on this bit you come. Hang on. And then you would put your double-sided tape down here. Oh, it's working now. Look at that. Magic. And then same on the other side. Judge where it would be. And then stick it on. Well, now that's working. I'm going to go back and do this. Obviously just needed a bit of rolling. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. They're temperamental. So see, sticky around the edge only. and then that goes onto the back. Same on top of the big piece there. So it's looking a bit bare, but I like it. So the next thing we do, so the other thing that I can't find is I've got brushes for this, but I cannot find them, so I'm going to use my finger. Oh, cotton bud would be handy. No, I haven't got one of them either. Normally I do. So I'm going to just use my finger and get some of this, or actually I'm just going to put the moon in it. Normally I would use a brush, but it's basically I just want a bit of silver on here, so it doesn't look so matte. And then hopefully it should pick up the edges a little bit more, so I'm just going to rub it on it. And hopefully it's working. Yes, it is. So it just adds a bit of shine to it. And we're going to stick that on there. You can use your glue or you can use the tape dispenser. And you're going to pop that in the middle. And you're just going to be kind of reaching over, because that is also a pocket. So that would go in there. Like so. I haven't finished this bit yet. We'll do that in a minute. Oh, I need to go and get that, which is annoying. Forgot about that one. So you do the same to the stars, because I've got little stars here. Put some silver on the stars just to add a little bit of sparkle. And then you would decorate your card. Well, bookmark, I should say. So I'll put one there and one there. Okay. I'm going to go and get that thing in a minute, but I need to glue these little stars on first. So we'll glue them on. Also as well, you can put some stars on your little tabs as well. And there you go. Will disappear on to get that thing. So to make the tabs, basically you've got your coloured paper and you've got your plain bit. So you're just going to glue those two together. Gives it a nice fresh look, I think. Looks tidy. And that gives you a nice clean place to write our chakra key down on. So I'm going to keep it this way around. And I'm going to do that. There we go. So that's a key made. So, and you've also on your, in here is your stickers. Got glue all over my fingers, which you're going to put on top of this one. And you put that as a chakra, and then you've got a few stickers that say keys. So there we go there. And then you would put one on the back here to remind you this is a little pocket. So there's like a key, you pop a key, and then there was a few other extra ones that I put in, like I say, for the little key signs. And then decorate the back with the stars. You'll end up with something like this. And also, I did the edges in the silver, which again brings it up. And I use these cute little stars that I got. And it's quite nice to put them on top of the big stars. Just creating that magical feeling. I need to go and get the gripper. I sorted out earlier. I was using it. Right. Here it is. So this is a crocodile. So it's like a little brad making. So it makes a hole in the card. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And it creates these little eyelets in here. It's quite a simple thing to do actually. I really enjoy using these. I've used them on leather. You can use them on fabric, paper card. So yeah, this is my little kit that I've got. And this is the machine. Here it is. And on it, it's got like, I don't know if you can see, when I press down on the the thing, it shows you, it sort of punches the holes. I only realised that after I'd used a different hole punch, but it's got 2 different sizes, so I like to stick to the smaller size. And it's got like a gauge, so you can tighten that up to where you need to be on the paper. So yeah, that's that. So the plan is you've got to make the hole first of all. So to make the, I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to go in the middle somewhere. So in the middle, and then I can see it just poking out a little bit, and I'm just going to pop it in there, and hopefully I got near the middle. And then the same again on the other side, try and get around about the same thing. Distance, there you go. So that puts these little holes in, and then what you do with that is you get these little things here, which are the only thing is they come with a choice of colours. So I might need to make the hole bigger on this one, because yeah, I need to make the holes bigger, unfortunately. That's a bigger hole. Different size brads. When I used them on the fabric, I did smaller holes. It was easier. Right, that should fit now. Yes, that fits in. So that just fits in the hole like that. And then you go back to your machine. On it, there's like a little bit that hangs down there, and then there's a flat-ish bit. So you have to put, it's going to be a bit awkward, but basically you have to put the little brad, what I'm calling it, onto the bit that sticks out, and then you squeeze really hard, and then what it does is it crimps it, so then it becomes quite a nice tough, and that's not going to open now. See? I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to do the same to the other side. We use the same colour. And so basically popping that machine on there, so where the sticky down bit is, I don't know if you can see that, and then squish. I need to use 2 hands, and then that puts my little brads in, which are quite cute. And then why I did that is because bookmark, you need to be able to find it in your diary, and I've made these so it can have some ribbon hanging over like this. And all I did with that is I got some ribbon. There you go, I cut it down. You don't need much. And then what I did forget is a bit of wire. Sometimes I use a little bit of wire, which is very helpful as a needle almost, but it's a needle that's not closed, so it's easy to take off. So we're going to use our bit of wire. You're going to put your piece of string like this on the wire, so it's middle. You're going to thread from the back through the brad. You're going to make 2 of these, by the way. So 2 similar length, and then you're going to basically, there you go, yeah, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to use it, put the 2 ends through the loop and bring that right through. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So cut me a bit of ribbon. I'm going to use my piece of wire, and then I'm going to thread it from the back through to the front. To create a loop, I remove the bit of wire. In the loop, I put the legs in the loop. There we go. So then now I've got my 2 pieces of ribbon on either side. From that, I'm going to add some beads. So the best way to add the beads, again, use your bit of wire. Here we go. So this time I'm going to take both the two ends of wire, ribbon, and I'm going to thread on a pink bead until it goes through. So I don't know if you can see that. Pull the two ends through. Try and leave the wire on there if you can. If you're not, it's okay. I'll just remove something. And then I'm going to put the evil eye. And the reason I've got the evil eye, it's a really cute little bead. I don't know if you can see that. I found them just after Christmas at the works, and I really was like, oh, I have to buy some of them. So the evil eye, it means protection against evil spirits and bad luck. It also wards off evil that has been directed at you. So if you can't get it through like I can't here right now, that's not good, is it? Do one at a time. There you go, one. And then you have to thread that on there, like so. And then come back through the evil eye. So I found them actually to be quite useful. It was like the perfect thing for the perfect timing. When I found them, and then bring that other piece through. So now you've got your two. Don't know if you saw what I was doing there, but I was right. So I've got pink bead, an evil eye, and I'm going to put a gold one on. So again, try it with both, but if not, you might have to do it separately. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't. So using your bit of wire, thread your bead on the wire, and then hopefully pull through. But if not, do it one at a time. So just take one of the ends off and then pull through, and then put the other leg on, back on the wire, and then go through that gold one. So I like the contrast with the gold and the pink together. I did have some green beads as well, which I added, but I had green ones on this one. But I like to have them all different, because then, as I've got a few bookmarks now for my book, I'm going to need them different so I can work out which is which page. There we go. So before I tie that off, because that's the top of the bookmark, I'm going to add a key. So I've got a jar of keys here. There they are, little jar of keys from my apocryphy. I don't want anything too big, but I have got a nice selection here. I do love keys. And the keys actually symbolise many things as well. So a key is a good access to knowledge. That's quite a nice one, isn't it? It has the power of the potential to unlock doors of new opportunities and possibilities, and helps connect you to your physical and emotional and spiritual well-being. But I like that one. I might use that one on there, but I do have other ones. There's like a little pirate one, and some are a little bit too big, but I like little keys. Some are tiny, some are dinky tinky. There's even tinier ones. Look at the size of that one. Wow. But yeah, so I've got a little selection of keys. There we go, pop them in. There's another little one, Skippy. So I'm going to use that one. So all you do this one is you just pop it through the first, well, one of the ribbons. Again, you can use your wire if the hole's a bit small. And then you're going to tie, I call them balloon knots, so basically around your fingers and then through the loop there. And just do that down the bottom. And then that means the key will come down here like that. And you've got your beads, which you can move up and down, so it could be a bit of a sensory thing as well. Keep them up there. You can shorten it, you don't have them as long as that, but I quite like them long when they're in your book. I'll bring the book over. They're quite good to, you can see them. Yeah. Put one over there. So you can see your ribbons hanging out. So once you get to know which key means what, gives your book quite a nice look as well. So I need to finish my bookmark, don't I? So I've got one more ribbon to do. Again, a couple of beads on, but this time I'm going to put a moon on here. The other way that I actually was just thinking that might be a good idea, because I've done it this way before as well, where I've just gone straight in before I put it in the bookmark. Put your ribbon on there. I think this works a bit better, I'm sure it does. And I don't know why I never remember this. And it goes straight on, like, there you go. As long as your ribbon's big enough to be able to loop through. There we go, that's better. See, all three on. That was the quick and easy way. There we go. Bring that through there. Take the bit of wire away. Then we're going to thread that and the beads through, because obviously put the beads on. Pull that through. Push them up. And then the same again, but this time instead of a key, we've gone for a moon because it's a moon journal. It's nice to add the moon down there. So again, just a little, just a balloon knot there. I find balloon knots make them sit better. If you tie the other knot, it kind of sticks out either end and can look a bit awkward. But there you go. So now I've got my little moon charm on there and my key charm on top. So that would be my first bookmark. That part anyway. Alright, so for the next bit of the bookmark, now that I've made them, is the key. I'll get the other keys out as well, show you examples of keys. Pop that over there. Right, so hang on. So for the key, this is a chakra key. Where is it? Main thing. Ah, here it is. I've written down here my ideas of how to turn the rainbow into, because the rainbow is a chakra, the chakra rainbow, into how to turn it into like a mood way and what they represent. So I've done a little makeshift one here. So I'm going to put that up there because that'll keep me right. And we'll go through them one by one as we stick them onto our chakra key. So there's a finished one. That's what it should look like. So we've got all the different ones there. So I'm going to start from the root chakra, because in meditation you tend to start from the root chakra and work your way up, don't you? And then you bring yourself back down again. So I'm going to start with the root chakra. So I've got these little kits that I've made up, little with a little clip, and then I've got the sticky dots inside these bags. And then what I've done as well is I've written what the root chakra, like how, you know, what the colour would represent if you were to colour that in your diary. So I felt like, you know, red can be quite an angry colour, but I didn't want to write angry. I don't really like horrible words. So I went for frustrated. So angry, frustrated, feeling a little bit, you know, hot under the collar. So I've gone for the red dots there. So you take one out and you pop one on there. And then you would just write, you could do this in your book as well, at the front of your journal, what these actually mean. So I'm just going to write frustrated. And then I'm going to write what chakra it is. So it's the root chakra. And what would you do if you were frustrated? The best thing for you to do would be to ground yourself. So it's a grounding. So you would write grounding. So when you look back at your key and you want to find out what colour means frustrated, you can sort of think to yourself, oh, I feel quite grounded and protected now. Because it's a reminder that everything, you know, that can be too much for you, if you bring yourself back and ground yourself in the root chakra and just remember that you're okay. You know, it's really important. So again, yeah, I feel frustrated, but it's okay because I've looked at my key. I've coloured my book in on my diary, frustrated day, and then you're going to use your magical pen. Remember that I showed you your rainbow pen, and then you're going to hopefully be able to move on from feeling frustrated to a different feeling later that day. So going up the root chakra, going up from the root chakra, we've got the sacral. There we go. So we're going to pop that above just a little bit, like give yourself enough room to write 2 lines. So for the sacral, I've gone for a positive, because an orange is a kind of positive colour, isn't it? You know, it kind of is vibrant, zesty. So yeah, that's why I've gone for that. So that's the sacral chakra. And that would mean, so when you're feeling positive, you're feeling lots of emotions. So that's what that means. And that's when your creativity comes out. So that's normally in your pelvis area, whereas the root would be your feet. So in your pelvis area, your emotions and your creativity comes out. So that's that one. The next one up from that one is our yellow. And that's the solar plexus. That's where your tummy is. That's where your intuition is. That's where when you get butterflies in your tummy, that's your solar plexus telling you things. So when you see yellow, again, it makes you feel happy. So happy is a bit different from positive. So positive is mindset, thinking about your emotions, your creativity, you're getting on with things, you're being able to deal with things. Whereas happy is, you know, you're feeling pretty content, things are going well, life's good. So you would write happy and your solar plexus on that piece of card there. I don't know if you can see my writing. And then underneath you would write what it meant. So when you feel happy, you're making yourself feel confident. So that's confidence. And also as well, you're looking after your self-esteem. You're loving yourself. You're looking after yourself, if you're happy, everything's all good. And that's important. So that's that one. I'll probably bang on forever about these things. Right, the next one is our heart chakra. So that's green. So again, I'm going to get the sticky dot out. I'm going to put that up enough so I can write 2 lines. And then I'm going to write about that. So I've chosen for the heart chakra, I've chosen the word grateful. Again, grateful. It's good to be grateful, isn't it? It makes your heart sing. It makes you feel loved when you're grateful and you're giving the best that you can give. Hopefully the person who's receiving your gratitude is as happy as you are, you know, and it's fulfilling in your heart. So that makes you feel balanced. So that's the word there, balanced and loved. And gratitude is an important thing to practice every day, which does bring balance and the sense of feeling loved, you know. So we're going to go on to another one that's a little bit not negative, but you know, we do have days where you're feeling blue. So because it was blue, I thought to myself, okay, we'll go for sad. So you might be having a sad day. It could be a sad day, feeling just sad because you just feel sad. So sad is the throat chakra. So what do you do when you feel sad? You can hide away. There you go, throat. I wrote it wrong, throat, whatever. So yeah, when you're sad, you can hide away and you don't want to communicate, you don't want to speak to anybody, you just want to be left alone, you know, you just want to. But we do have sad days. Some days things can get in the way and cause a sad day. life's life, and unfortunately we do get these feelings. But because it's blue and we're feeling blue, what do? How do we stop being sad? We start communication. So by communicating to your friends, loved one, I just, even if you don't want to tell them how you feel, just by communicating and taking your mind off things, you know, having a chat with your best friend you've not seen for ages. And you don't have to talk about the things that are making you feel sad. Just go and have fun in nature. Just talk about a load of rubbish. And just, you don't have to be like sharing your problems as much. But by communicating, your sadness then becomes to, you know, like grateful because you've shared your time with a friend, and also as well it brings out that self-expression. So that's the other word that we're going to use, self-expression. We'll run through these in a minute. So we'll write self-expression on there. So by self-expression, self-expressing yourself, you're able to share how you're feeling. And yeah, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to have a chakra with sad in it. So in this one, so the next one is the third eye. So going up to your third eye, that's in between your eyebrows. And leave again, put your sticky dot on, leave a space. And I've chose the word enlightened. So when you're feeling enlightened, when you find some treasure that you've you know, that excites you, when you've cleaned your bedroom that's not that's been needing doing, you know, enlightenment could be many things. And you know, you can be enlightened when you're out and something happens and you think to yourself, wow, that was a good day. So it's about nurturing. So these are the words I'm using: nurturing and using your intuition. So there you go. And I quite like that word, enlightened. Again, a positive word. I like positivity. And I want your by the end of the month, I want you to have a nice colourful rainbow on your calendar, so you can look at your month, and then you can also pinpoint where you might be having struggles with, and maybe that's a reminder that you need to communicate, or you need to ground yourself and protect yourself. This is thirsty work. This is right. Next bit is, hang on, purple. And purple is your crown chakra. So your crown chakra is obviously on the top of your head. So, and the word I used for that was amazing. So when you're feeling amazing, you're opening your crown chakra to knowledge, and these are the words I've used, and connection. So it's not just connection to people, it's connection to higher spirit. It's connection to, yeah, so feeling amazing when you're on top of the world and everything's going your way and the universe is providing, you know, that's when I start putting purple in life. You know, I find I'm using a lot of purple at the minute. Purple and pinks. So pink's a kind of hue of purple. So yeah, that's my chakra key. So we got amazing. So we'll run through these real quick. So the crown chakra will go back down the way as we came up. So the crown chakra, so we were amazing. So that's good for knowledge and connection. We then felt enlightened in our third eye, which is between the eyebrows, which is nurturing and good for intuition. Blue, which is your throat chakra, is seen as sad, but it also helps promote communication and self-expression. So green is for your heart chakra, and it is for feeling grateful, which helps you feel balanced and loved. Then we've got yellow, which is your solar plexus, which makes you feel happy and and then it represents confidence and self-esteem. So they're always really good things to bring out. Then we're going down to your sacral, which is the orange, where where we're going to call that positivity or positive, which is for your emotions and creativity. And then red is for frustrated, and it's on your root chakra, but it's just to remind you that you need to ground yourself and protect. And I hope you enjoyed me running through my chakra key. I'll have a quick one. I'm going to probably cut in a minute and then do the rest of the video on a part 2, because I spent quite a lot of time on this chakra key. And as you can imagine, doing it in group as well, we spent a lot of time doing this. So the other keys I've made are, I was telling you about this one earlier, which I've got in my diary. Let's get that out and remind you. So in my diary, when I do my little the top area here, I use my mini key. So I've got the circle here for the full moon, the half circle for the new moon, and then we've got an asterisk symbol for the zodiac change, which was on the 21st. So I would asterisk that out. I've got a portal on the 3rd, so I put a portal sign. And then we've got a Wheel of the Year celebration, because not every month has a Wheel of the Year celebration, but it's nice to mark down that celebration with a heart. So I would draw a heart around there, like so. So that's my little mini key. And my other mini key, which probably you'll see in last month I've used more. No, I haven't. What about, no, I haven't actually used this in my, I've used it on my other diaries, but I haven't used it in the last month. But we can go through this all quick. So this other one I've got is for my kind of personal key, really. So it's a little personal key. So every day, like I go out, if I go out in nature, I've actually got a few dates written down here. So for instance, I went to Jenny Cliff in Mountbatten on the 1st. So using my highlighters, we're not going to do lots of these, by the way. I'm just going to show you a few pinpoints of my little tab there. So it's a good one to do if you've made one of these. So I would just colour in that one with a green. So when I look back, again, it's going to be a colour. It's going to be so colourful with all the rainbow colours of your moods as well. So I would mark the 1st out because I went on a nature day. And then any other days that I went out, I went on the 27th, I went out on a nature day. And what else have I got in my diary there? I went to the woods a couple of times, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I can't. It'll be a Monday because I normally meet my friend Jess on a Monday. So I think it was the 17th, and I definitely did the 31st because I remember doing that. So they're my nature days. So I've marked them with bright green. So holidays, I've got a different colour of green for holidays. So holidays are, I haven't got any holidays in March, but I'll use the holiday colour in April when I go to Scotland. So I don't need that at the moment. Half-term bank holidays, again, there's none in March that I know of. Then I've got like people's birthdays, so like I've got friends and family's birthdays, so I would maybe mark that with a blue marker. And then we've got what I'm doing now. So that would be, I would mark that Moon Junk Journal Journey. So we did that on the 10th of March and the 3rd, what else? When was it? 24th. Monday the 24th and the 10th of March we did them. So I mark that again with a pink because that's the colour I've put on here. And then crafters in the morning because I do a morning session. I do that every Friday. So I would mark down. So if you get what I mean, so basically I'm colouring in numbers with my highlighters, and that highlights from my key that I know I'm at my craft group that week. I know I'm doing my Moon Junk Journal. I've got other things like Jenny Odd Jobs, my seasonal celebrations, my Ensley work, and yeah, my morning craft and my evening crafters, which is starting in April. Well, it was going to be starting in March, but it didn't start until, so I'm starting that in April instead, so it'll be all good. So again, using your big chakra, I just do, you put these little pens, they're quite cute. I remember when I was a kid I used to have these, and you put them like little crayons, so happy. So for instance, on my diary, I was happy when I was on my walk in nature, so I knew that was a happy day, so I would just colour that block in. So the plan is I'm going to be doing that on, well, next month. I'm going to try and do the whole month, and each day I'm going to colour in a block of how I feel, and then that way you can add, well, it becomes a rainbow really. That's my plan. So when was I feeling grateful? Always feeling grateful. So I was feeling grateful on Ostara because we were coming into the spring equinox, and what a wonderful way to start with feeling grateful. There we go. So if you can imagine this whole page coloured in pens and these rainbow crayons, I just think each month's going to look so different because each day you feel different, and it's good to keep an eye on those trackers. So that is my 3 keys, which live in my bookmark. I like this one in here, and like I say, you've got other I'll give you 3 extra keys in your thing. I've not put the thing on there. Okay. Not thing. In your pack, you receive 2 small keys, an extra big key, so that you can make your keys to the way you like them, and that way you've now got a chakra book mark. And also what I like to do as well is I've actually, before I started my diary, I made sure I had a front page, a couple of empty pages, which I've still got because I'm working on them. I always have a couple of empty pages, and then I've actually written down the chakra mood tracker key on there in big detail. So yeah, you don't have to write all the detail on the key itself. And then I've also got the colours and the symbol key there as well, which I've put just at the start of the diary, which is good to look back at. So I'm going to leave that bit there, and I am going to come back with we're going to look at mindful goals. And oh no, before we do that, we're going to make our Ostara wish jar with various items. We're going to look at our mindful goals. We're going to do a little bit of oracle art, and then we're going to finish with a bit of gratitude and treasure. So I'll catch up with you shortly, and I'll be back. Thank you.